The 10 Crucial Moments of Archangel Michael. Discover the legendary Archangel Michael, the celestial warrior and protector of the faithful, whose feats range from cosmic confrontations to guiding souls to paradise. Get ready for an immersion into the history of one of the most powerful and revered figures in the spiritual tradition. Number 10. Appearances and Miracles. The appearances and miracles attributed to the Archangel Michael have been a subject of fascination and devotion throughout history in various religious traditions. These supernatural events are seen as manifestations of his power and his protective role between heaven and earth. From miraculous appearances that have led to the construction of shrines and basilicas in his honor to divine interventions that have changed the course of battles and diseases, the stories of Michael intervening in critical moments underscore his commitment to humanity and faith. For example, the Archangel's appearance at Mount Gargano, Italy, in the 5th century not only led to the consecration of a sanctuary but also solidified his status as a protector and spiritual guide, demonstrating his accessibility and care for those who invoke him. The significance behind these appearances and miracles lies in their ability to inspire faith, hope, and spiritual renewal among believers. Each miracle attributed to Michael is a story of salvation, a reminder of the active presence of the divine in the earthly world. These miraculous events not only reaffirm the belief in angels and celestial beings but also offer comfort and strength to those seeking help in times of desperation. Devotion to the Archangel Michael is fueled by these narratives, strengthening the personal and collective connection to the divine. Thus, Michael's appearances and miracles are not only testimonies of his power but also bridges between the celestial and the earthly, fostering a sense of community and shared spirituality. Number 9. Patronage and protection of the Church. In the rich tapestry of the Christian tradition, the Archangel Michael holds a place of honor not only as a celestial defender but also as the protective patron of the Church. His figure is synonymous with courage, strength, and divine protection against the forces of evil. Since the early centuries of Christianity, Michael has been invoked by the faithful in times of adversity and war, symbolizing hope and divine security. The Church has honored him throughout the centuries, dedicating festivities and sanctuaries to him, reflecting his profound spiritual significance and protective role. This patronage is manifested in various forms, including the dedication of churches and chapels in his name, and his representation in sacred art, where he is often depicted defeating the dragon, a symbol of Satan. The reason for the patronage and protection of the Church by the Archangel Michael lies in his essence as a warrior of God, tireless fighter against evil, and protector of the righteous. Michael stands out in the Christian narrative for his role in the celestial battle, expelling Satan and his followers from heaven, an act that consolidates him as the ultimate protector against all evil. His intervention in critical moments of biblical history, such as the dispute over the body of Moses against the devil, illustrates his commitment to safeguarding the sacred. Thus, the Church sees in Michael a powerful intercessor before God, capable of offering protection against enemies and guiding the faithful on their spiritual path. The veneration of Michael as a patron reflects the trust in his ongoing intercession and protection, making him a symbol of eternal resistance against the forces of evil and a constant guardian of the community of faith. Number 8. Struggles against principalities and powers. In the biblical context, the Archangel Michael's struggle against principalities and powers refers to a profound and symbolic theme that encompasses the contention between the celestial forces of good and the spiritual entities of evil operating in the invisible realms. This concept is rooted in various passages of the Scriptures but is prominently highlighted in the epistles of Paul, where he explicitly mentions principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of this age, and spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places, in the book of Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. These entities represent different orders or hierarchies in the adversary's spiritual domain, against which beings like the Archangel Michael lead the battle on behalf of the divine kingdom. This confrontation symbolizes the perpetual struggle between light and darkness, divine order, and the chaos caused by spiritual rebellion. The reason for these struggles against principalities and powers lies in the mission of angels, like Michael, to protect the divine plan and the faithful from corrupting and destructive influences. In this spiritual warfare, Michael acts as a defender and warrior, upholding the principles of God's kingdom, confronting forces that seek to subvert the inherent justice and goodness of creation. This aspect of his service is crucial, as it is not just a battle for territorial dominion but for the safeguarding of humanity's spiritual integrity and the maintenance of the cosmic order established by God. Thus, Michael's struggle against these forces is not merely an act of bravery but an essential component of the spiritual structure of the universe, manifesting the divine will in the ongoing battle for the soul of creation. Number 7. His role in the final judgment. The role of the Archangel Michael in the final judgment is one of the most fascinating and debated aspects within the Christian tradition, reflecting his importance not only as a celestial warrior but also as the judge of souls at the most critical moment of human existence. According to various theological interpretations, Michael is seen as the great weigher of souls, the one who, in the final judgment, will be responsible for using his scales to determine the eternal destiny of souls based on their actions and faith during their earthly life. This image stems from the tradition that considers him as an intercessor and protector of the faithful, appearing before God to plead for those who have lived according to divine commandments. The reason for this significant role lies in Michael's nature as a figure of justice, valor, and protection within the Christian cosmology. His involvement in the final judgment symbolizes the culmination of his work as a defender of faith and righteousness, marking the definitive transition between earthly life and eternity. This function not only underscores his importance in the celestial order, where he acts as the leader of God's armies against the forces of evil, but also highlights his role as a guide and guardian of souls towards their ultimate destiny. Through this act, Michael emerges as a central figure in the eschatological drama, reaffirming his position as a bridge between the divine and the human and emphasizing hope in divine justice and final redemption. Number 6. His appointment as the chief angel. The Archangel Michael occupies a unique position in the celestial hierarchy, being recognized across various religious traditions as the chief angel or the Prince of Angels. This distinction not only underscores his preeminent role among celestial beings but also reflects his deep connection with humanity and the divine plan. In the Christian context, although the Bible does not explicitly name him as an archangel, except in a couple of instances in the book of Jude chapter 1 verse 9 and 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 16, traditional interpretation and apocryphal texts have elevated his status to that of the leader of God's armies. It is in the book of Daniel where he is specifically mentioned as one of the chief princes, and is assigned the special role of protector of God's people, suggesting his importance and preeminence among angels. The reason for this appointment and elevated position of Michael can be understood not only in terms of his strength and power in battle but also in his unwavering loyalty and service to God. Michael is seen as the angel who embodies justice, courage, and unwavering faith, fighting against the forces of evil and defending God's kingdom against all rebellion. His role as a defender of faith and protector of the faithful has granted him a special place in the hearts and minds of believers, often invoked in times of need. This preeminence is reflected in his role in key events, such as the resurrection of the dead and the battle against the Antichrist in the last days. Thus, Michael's appointment as the chief angel is not merely a matter of celestial hierarchy but a recognition of his tireless commitment to God's will and his essential role in fulfilling the divine plan for humanity. Number 5. Intervention in Daniel's prayers. The intervention of the Archangel Michael in Daniel's prayers, as described in the book of Daniel, chapters 10, verse 13 and chapters 21, is one of the most fascinating and revealing moments about the role of celestial beings in the spiritual and earthly dynamics. In this passage, Daniel has been fasting and praying for 3 weeks, seeking God's guidance and revelation about the future of his people. However, the response to his prayers seems to be delayed. Finally, an angel arrives to explain to Daniel that the answer to his supplications had been sent from the first day, but the princes of the Persian kingdom, evil spiritual entities, had hindered its arrival. This is where Michael, described as one of the chief princes and protector of Israel, intervenes to help the angel overcome the forces of darkness, ensuring that the divine message reaches Daniel. This story is significant for several reasons. Firstly, it illustrates the biblical concept of spiritual warfare, an invisible struggle taking place in the spiritual realm that directly affects the physical world and the destiny of nations. Michael, acting as a celestial warrior combating the forces of evil, demonstrates that angels play an active role in answering prayers and fulfilling God's will. Furthermore, this passage underscores the importance of perseverance in prayer. Daniel had been praying and fasting for 3 weeks, unaware that a spiritual battle was being fought on his behalf behind the scenes. Michael's intervention not only ensures that the divine will prevails but also reminds us that even when we do not see an immediate answer to our prayers, there may be forces working in our favor in the spiritual realm. This episode highlights the faithfulness and sovereignty of God, ensuring that His purposes will be fulfilled despite any opposition. Number 4. Guiding souls to heaven. In religious traditions, the Archangel Michael plays a transcendent role that goes beyond his known status as a celestial warrior and protector of the faithful. One of the most exciting and comforting aspects of his work is his role as a guide of souls to heaven. This belief is deeply rooted in the heart of numerous spiritual traditions and highlights a more compassionate and merciful side of Michael, portraying him not only as a fighter in celestial battles but also as a beacon of light for those who have departed the earthly world. It is believed that at the moment of death, Michael appears to escort souls through the spiritual realities, ensuring that they reach their celestial destination without being diverted or harassed by malevolent forces. This role of Michael not only emphasizes the importance of spiritual guidance and protection but also offers great comfort to believers, providing a sense of security and peace regarding the destiny of souls after death. The idea that such a powerful and just being as the Archangel Michael personally takes charge of leading souls to paradise reflects a deep compassion and care from the divine. This belief fosters trust in the justice and mercy of the celestial order and assures the faithful that they are not alone, neither in life nor in death. Michael's guidance of souls to their final rest is a testimony to the unwavering promise of divine protection and assistance in all aspects of existence, both earthly and eternal. Number 3. Dispute with Satan over the body of Moses. The dispute between the Archangel Michael and Satan over the body of Moses, mentioned in the Epistle of Jude, verse 9, constitutes one of the most mysterious and fascinating episodes within the Judeo-Christian tradition. This brief passage not only highlights the authority and role of the Archangel Michael as a defender and protector but also opens a window into the complex interactions between celestial beings and spiritual forces. According to the text, Michael did not dare to bring a slanderous accusation against Satan but said, "The Lord rebuke you." This confrontation reveals a dynamic of respect for spiritual hierarchies and authorities, even in the midst of conflict, and underscores the humility and prudence of the archangel in the face of his adversary. The reason why this event is particularly intriguing lies in several dimensions. Firstly, it underscores the importance of Moses even after his death, suggesting that his body held special significance for both celestial and infernal forces. Rabbinic tradition and other extra-biblical sources propose that this conflict had to do with Satan's desire to use Moses' body to lead Israel astray, possibly turning it into an object of idolatry. On the other hand, Michael, acting under divine will, ensures the protection and dignified treatment of Moses' body, preventing any deviation from the spiritual path established by God. This episode not only emphasizes the ongoing struggle between good and evil but also highlights the crucial role of Michael in preserving the sanctity and integrity of the saints and prophetic figures within the faith. Number 2. Defending Israel in the last days. In the prophetic tapestry of the Scriptures, one of the most significant and hopeful moments is found in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. This passage highlights the crucial role of the Archangel Michael as the protector of Israel in the end times. Here, Michael is described not only as a celestial prince assigned to care for and defend God's chosen people but also as a key figure in the culmination of sacred history. According to the text, in a period of unparalleled tribulation, so severe that there has never been anything like it since the nations existed, Michael will rise to defend the children of your people. This act of divine protection promises salvation for those enrolled in the book, presumably the Book of Life, suggesting direct divine intervention in the darkest moments of humanity. The significance of this passage intertwines deeply with the biblical narrative of redemption and divine promise. The figure of Michael as the defender of Israel symbolizes God's unwavering faithfulness to his people, despite adversities and apocalyptic challenges. This passage not only reaffirms hope in divine salvation but also underscores the importance of perseverance in faith amidst tribulations. The mention of Michael in this context is not merely symbolic. It represents the active intervention of the divine in the earthly world, ensuring that even in the moments of greatest despair, celestial forces are working towards redemption and the fulfillment of divine promises. Therefore, this text offers comfort and strength to believers, reminding them that they are not alone in their struggle and that the final victory over evil is assured by the presence and power of celestial beings like the Archangel Michael. Number 1. The battle in heaven against Satan. The battle in heaven against Satan, recounted in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verses 7 to 9, stands as one of the most fascinating and symbolically rich episodes in the biblical narrative. This event describes a cosmic confrontation between Michael and his angels against the dragon, identified as Satan or the devil, and his rebellious angels. The confrontation culminates in the expulsion of Satan from heaven, cast down to the earth along with his followers. This account not only highlights the supremacy of good over evil but also symbolizes the eternal struggle between light and darkness, a central theme in many spiritual and religious traditions. The significance of this event transcends its narrative spectacle, delving into the very heart of the biblical message about God's definitive victory. This battle represents not only a celestial triumph but also a promise of redemption and protection for humanity. The figure of Michael, acting as the divine champion, symbolizes God's direct intervention in the cosmos to ensure the triumph of the divine order and justice. Furthermore, this event sets the stage for ongoing spiritual conflict on earth, implying that although the forces of evil may be active in the world, their ultimate defeat is assured. Therefore, this episode offers comfort and hope to believers, reaffirming faith in God's sovereignty and redemptive plan.